In the name of Allah, all merciful God, my dear students, peace be upon you. Today we are going to complete our discussion about Module 3. Last lecture we talked about Module 3, 3A, reading, need some cash. Before going to our next part or section, grammar, we will go to workbook, page number 28, to have an exercise revising our vocab that we discussed last lecture. Here is in your workbook, page number 28, you have exercise A, circle the correct word. Try to remember and help me to answer this exercise. I went to the bank to get some information on internet space. Okay, you have your account on the bank and you can use your account using the internet. So we can call this internet charge or internet banking. Internet what? Excellent, internet banking. So a very polite person, my friend or someone, explained everything to me and even gave me various space to look at. He gave me something to get some information about internet banking. What this? A theme book, including or having pictures and information to advertise or to give information about internet banking. We call it what? Brochure or envelope? Brochures. Excellent. Okay. The truth is that I still space to use it. I still deposit or hesitate when I want to do something and I'm not sure of doing it or not. So this we can call it state. Excellent. You want to do something, but you are still unable to take your decision or to make a decision. I don't know how safe it is. Number two, I am very worried about my friend's Ned. Why? I want to know the space news about his job. I want to know various news or latest news. Latest news, okay. About his, so I called him, but he didn't space my phone. I called him, but he didn't call me back, or he didn't accept my phone. Yes, he didn't accept my phone. I thought he was busy. I called again, but he was very upset. He was worried. He was unhappy and space to talk about it. Sure, he refused to talk about it. I don't know what's wrong. Okay, this is an exercise about what we have discussed last lecture. Let's go now to our grammar section in your student book. In your student book, page number 70. In your student book now, our grammar section. What's our grammar section now? It's about negative question. It's about negative question. What's negative question? What's negative question? Try to look and listen to know. Your book, page number 35. Your book, your student book, page number 35. 3. Grammar, negative questions. Read the examples and notes the words in bold. Which sentence does the speaker in the dialogue expect the listener to agree? In which sentence does the speaker express surprise? So he wants to tell us that we can use it to make someone agree or to express surprise. He said, didn't you want to make a deposit? Didn't you want to make a deposit? So he started the question with, we can start it with, did you want? Did you want? Okay. This is normal question. Yes, no question, and a normal question. But we now start with didn't you? Didn't you want to make a deposit? Isn't that the same as a cash card? Let's complete. What the form of negative question? Negative question are formed with auxiliary verb plus not, and this is the short form is N apostrophe T. Then the subject followed by main verb and the question mark. We use negative question. Why? Why we use it? Number one, to express surprise. To express surprise. Haven't you been to the city center before? When I ask someone, here it's in Riyadh, okay, I expect all people in Riyadh here went to Mamlaka Tower. When I ask someone, I talk to someone and they tell me I didn't go to Mamlaka Tower. So this is a surprise for me. Haven't you been to the city center? Haven't you been to Mamlaka Tower before? This is to express surprise. To express surprise. Haven't you been to the city center before? Is there anyone that haven't been to there? Number two, when we expect the listener to agree with us. When I talk about something and I know or expect that the listener will accept my speech. So I use this form of question. Don't you want to come to the museum with me or with us? I know that he wants to go. So I ask him the question in this way. Don't you want to come to the museum with us? I know previously or expected previously that he wants to go. So I ask it. When I talk to my friend and I know that he wants to watch the match with me this night, okay, and I know or expect that he will come to watch the match with me. So I can ask him, won't you come to watch the match in the stadium? I know that he will do this. This is why we use negative form or negative question. Number one, to express surprise. When you listen to something and you express your surprise about listening it. Number two, to when you expect that the listener agree with your speech. This is the first part. Let's go to our workbook again to answer an exercise about negative question. Look here, exercise B, page number 28, page number 28, your workbook. Read the situation below, write negative question and a sentence with question tag for each of them, as in the example. Okay, this is, let's talk about at first about our negative question. Let's talk about our negative question first. You see a man who you think works at the supermarket you usually go to. What do you say to him? You see a man who you think works at supermarket you usually go to. What do you say to him? Look at the picture. Someone in the supermarket. You know that he is a worker in the supermarket. So don't you work at the supermarket? Don't you work at the supermarket? He is expressing what? That he will agree or accept your speech. Number two, what's in the picture? Look at the picture. What do you see? What do you see here? You are at the bank with a friend and you think the bank clerk is very polite. Is very polite. Yes, you think that this clerk, the person who works in the bank is a clerk. He is very polite. You think that. What do you say to your friend? What will you say? What do you say? Isn't the bank clerk very polite? Isn't the bank clerk very polite? When you talk this person or to this clerk, he was very polite, and your friend know that, and your friend, okay, knows that he is very polite. When you ask the question, you expect that he will agree with you. So you said that even the bank clerk is very polite. This is negative question. Let's complete number 3. What do you see in the picture? A person, okay? So you are at the shop, person in the shop. You are at the shop and you want to pay by credit card. You want to pay by credit card. So what do you say? What do you say? You want to pay by credit card. Good, excellent. Don't you take credit card? Don't you take credit card? Okay, this is a negative question. Number 4, what do you see in this picture? Are you hungry? If you are hungry, look at the picture and see. What can you see? Oh, you are at a restaurant with a friend. You have just finished eating and you think that the meal was delicious. The meal was delicious. What do you say to your friend? It has a good taste. It has a good taste. What do you say to your friend? Try to remember, try to think, try to think. Okay, good. Wasn't the meal delicious? Wasn't the meal delicious? Yes, okay. This is our picture number 3. Number 4, number 5, sorry, number 5. What can you see in the picture? What can you see? Two person. What do you think they are? What do you think they are in the moon? Try. Okay. You see someone who you think you have met before. What do you say? You think you have met before. You think you have met before. Yes, when you meet him, you wanted to tell him this. You want to tell him that you think that you have met before. Good. Yes, excellent. Haven't we met before? Haven't we met before? Yes. So this is what we call negative question. Negative question. It's very easy and simple. You start with auxiliary verb, is, are, was, were, do, have, has, any of these auxiliary verbs, but we use it in the negative form. Instead of is, isn't, are, aren't, was, wasn't, can, can't, have, haven't, has, hasn't, okay? And follow it by the subject, then the main verb and the question mark. This what we called negative question. Let's go to another part in this grammar section, question tag. Okay, let's read the examples. Let's read the example. Take about 1-2 minutes to read and tell me what you understand. I'll stop. Let you 2 minutes read example and tell me what you understand. What can you notice? Okay, my dear students, let's come back to these 3 sentences. Number 1, you charge commission, don't you? You charge commission, don't you? What is? What is? But it worked before, didn't it? It worked before, didn't it? 3, I can't use internet banking with that account. Can I? Can I? So here is, look at the verb charge. Look at the verb charge. Okay, it's a base form, it's infinitive. So the sentence is present simple, present simple. So if I want to negate this sentence, I can say, You don't charge commission. You don't charge. This is to negate it. When you want to make tag question, use the auxiliary verb in the negative form followed by subject pronoun. Followed by subject pronoun. Don't. Why I use don't? Why don't I say do you? Do you? Because the sentence is already in the affirmative statement. So when the verb is in the affirmative statement, I use the auxiliary verb in the negative form. In the negative form. Here is you charge, so I say don't you. If the sentence was you don't charge, you don't charge, and this time I can say do you. Let's go to sentence. It worked before. It worked before. What's happened? Why we used don't, the first one, and didn't in the second? Because here is charge present simple, but worked past simple. If I want to negate it, I say it didn't work. It didn't work. This is past simple. So the question tag here, didn't, past simple, followed by subject pronoun it. Didn't it. Okay? Let's go to another sentence and you will understand more about why here use can I. Can I? Why I don't use can't I? As we said before, I can't use internet banking. I can't use internet banking. The auxiliary or the modal verb here works as an auxiliary verb. Can't here is like an auxiliary verb. So it's in negative form, can't. I use it can, followed by subject pronoun I, can I. So if you concentrate well, you will find that the sentence in the affirmative form, I use tag question in the negative form. The sentence in the negative form, I use tag question in the affirmative form. Okay? Let's go now to read more information about question tag. He said question tag or short question, which we put at the beginning end of sentence. Here is question tag or short questions, which we put at the beginning or the end of the sentence. When you look again to the three sentences we read, don't you, didn't it, can I, in the beginning of the sentences or at the end? Sure, end. Yes, number one, we can't use can I, didn't I, don't I in the beginning. Number one, they are formed with an auxiliary verb, as we said, verb to do present, did past, okay, or modal as can, will, may, should, could, okay, modals can, could, will, would, shall, should, may, might, must, okay, we use them as a modal verbs or as an auxiliary verb. But here is they are formed with an auxiliary verb or a main verb. Main verb like play, read, write, go, swim. Can we say here charged you? No. Can we say worked it? No. Can we say used I? No. So it must be using auxiliary verb. An auxiliary verb. It can't be using a main verb like play, read, write, go, swim. We can't use this form. So here, auxiliary verb like am, is, are, was, were, this is verb to be. Have, has, had, this is verb to have. Do, does, did, that's verb to do. Can, could, will, would, shall, should, as we said before, that we have three auxiliary verbs, verb to be, verb to do, verb to have, and the modal verbs as an auxiliary verb. Let's go, we use space, question, tag with negative sentence. When the sentence is in a negative form, like can't, don't, doesn't, isn't, okay? Here is in the negative form. The question tag is positive or negative? Look and tell me. Look and answer. Can't, can. Can't, negative. Here is can, positive. So good. Positive form. Excellent. Question tag with a negative sentence and space question. Positive question or negative question tag with the positive sentence. When it was positive, like charge, work, we used what? We used what? Positive or negative? Negative. Excellent. Okay. This is our tag question. Let's go back to, we have more about tag question. Question tag a short question. To know information more about this, tag question or question tag tags are short questions at the end of statement, as we said before. We use them. Why? Why do you use them? When we are not sure about something. When we aren't sure about something, okay? You want to ask your friend about a meeting. You aren't sure, is this meeting the next day or the next week? So you can tell your friend, our meeting is going to be tomorrow, isn't it? Isn't it? You want to make sure. You aren't sure. When you want the other person to agree with you, as we said before, when you said something before, your listener knew about what you have said, so you want to make sure to emphasize what you have said. So you say it. We form a question tag, as we said before, auxiliary or modal verb, the sentence, and a personal pronoun. We can't use names or nouns like Muhammad, Khalid, Talal. We can say can't Muhammad. We can say can't Khalid, can't Talal, isn't Fahd, isn't Saleh, wasn't Hamad, wasn't Fatima. No, we can say nouns like this. We can say isn't the cat, isn't the car, wasn't the man. This is incorrect. But we must use personal pronoun, subject pronoun. Isn't it? Isn't he? Can't she? Will you? Are they? We must use personal pronouns like I, we, you, they, he, she, it. This subject or personal pronoun in the same person as the subject. So as the subject mean Muhammad played football. You will say here, didn't he? You can say Muhammad, didn't he? You can say didn't she? My friends were in the park. Weren't they? Weren't they? We can say weren't I? We can say weren't we? They. You couldn't see him. Could you? The subject you. Okay? So I use couldn't you. Tom, believe, Tom. He, didn't he? I can say didn't Tom. When the sentence is in affirmative, we use negative question, as we said before. The boys are at school. The boys are at school. This is in the positive or affirmative form. Aren't, are here, aren't they? Aren't they? Can I say, aren't the boys? No. Aren't the boys? No. No. Aren't they? When the sentence is negative, we use positive question tag. She hasn't seen the doctor yet. She hasn't. Hasn't. Has she? Has she? Be careful with the following question tag. We have some forms, okay, that we have would ways to form a question tag. I am a very good teacher. I am a very good teacher. Okay. The normal case, as we discussed before, to say I'm not I. Am not I. No, no. Here is when you find am in the affirmative form, use aren't I. Aren't I. Be careful. Notes am change into aren't. Am change into aren't. If you said amn't I, it's incorrect. Let's to make suggestion. Okay. Let's play football. Let's go to school. Let's read. Let's eat. Let's watch. This is a suggestion, okay? Where is the subject here? And where is the auxiliary verb? You use shall we, shall we, shall we, okay? Because this is a suggestion. In the order form or imperative form, open the door, close the window, write the lesson, listen to me. This is imperative. Or we can say order. What can you say? Will you? Will you? It's fixed. Will you? Okay? This is what we want to know about the question. Read the situation and make negative question. Okay? Let's go to the question. Complete the dialogue with the correct question tag. Complete the dialogue with the correct question tag. I let you about 3 minutes. Try to answer, and then I'll come back to you. I'll come back to you. Switch off your video, switch off your video, stop your video, and then, okay, I'll stop now. I'll wait for 3 minutes, and I'll continue after 3 minutes. When you think, answer, and then we will make sure about your answer. Okay, we came back. Who answered? Who answered the first one? Saud, you went to the bank today. Went, present or past? Present simple. No, past simple, went. It go, went. So I'll use did. Did you? Did you? No, it's in affirmative form. So I'll use didn't you. Excellent. Number 2, you didn't. When you find didn't, close your eyes and put did. Close your eyes, put did. Didn't, did. Okay? You. Okay? You can go tomorrow. Can. Also, when you find an auxiliary verb, it's a very simple sentence. It's very easy. Can, can't. Close your eyes and put can't. Will, won't, is, isn't. Okay, huh? You can, can't you? The bank are, aren't. The bank, I can say are in the bank. Here is, he said the banks. I'm sorry. The banks are closed. Can I say are in the banks? No. Aren't they? Aren't they? Excellent. Yes, but there is a cash machine around the corner. You have seen it. You have seen, okay? You have seen it. Haven't you? You won't, well. You don't have, you don't, do you? This is our lesson. What I want you to do now, to go to your workbook. At first, before going to your workbook, come back to this exercise in your student book, page number 35, exercise 4A. I want it as a homework. Try to answer, and the next lecture, inshallah, we'll discuss. Also, go back to your workbook, page number 28, You have exercises on this lesson in your workbook, page number 28. Okay, this exercise we answered it, but as we answer, we said that you will answer number 2. The bank clerk is very polite. When you write this sentence, you will use tag question or question tags to complete. This is an exercise. Also, page number 29. Exercise D. Read and complete with the correct tag question. This is a homework. Thank you all for listening to me. I hope that you understand what we have explained in this lesson. Next lecture, inshallah, we will complete our module. Thank you all. Until we meet again, we can say goodbye. السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته.